Mag and I here on day 10 of our trip across the U.S. Today we're shooting from the beach of Nantucket in Nantucket, and this place is gorgeous. The whole way here we've met lots of nice people, enjoyed a high-speed ferry ride, and views all the way around. We're going to take the next few hours and go explore the island and work our way back to the ferry terminal. Really looking forward to seeing what Nantucket has in store for us. Come on and join us. Let's see it together. Our day started with a high-speed ferry ride from Hyannis to Nantucket. We arrived at the ferry terminal just in time. We walked aboard the ship and then immediately set sail out of the port. Once we got clear of the channel, this vessel got moving quickly in a hurry. It was pretty foggy out this morning, but we could still see everything nearby. There were lots of boats moored just inside the channel area. We pushed our way through the fog, and before we knew it, we'd reached the other side for Nantucket. The anticipation grew as our ship approached the dock. It's almost time to get this adventure kicked off. Just gotta get off this ship now. The area immediately outside the ferry terminal in Nantucket was busy. Cars crowded the streets, and there were people milling all about in the shops and restaurants. We immediately caught a bus over to Nantucket, and it was like we had stepped into a whole other world. We made our way onto the trails at Eel Pond. The hike along the trail brought us in view of a couple of different osprey nests. We were able to get really close to both of them on the trails. And although we didn't see any ospreys today, we could certainly understand why they would want to set up shop in a place like this. That's a pretty nice looking house, big guy. Ai-chan enjoyed exploring this trail along with me. You could tell that she was really enthralled by all the smells everywhere around us. Heck, even I could tell the difference in the smells in the air. She happily cruised along, content to enjoy the breezes and keep her paws moving. She definitely seemed impressed with the place I'd brought her today. Unfortunately, great smells and fantastic views can only carry an old dog so far. Then it's up to me to do the heavy lifting. Well, that certainly didn't take long. We're only about half a mile into Nantucket, and the dog already told me that's far enough, buddy. So, looks like she gets the easy route. No problem. She loves this backpack now. Saves her all the footwork. Hi, Jen. How you doing today? Having fun? Enjoying those nice, cool breezes? Yeah, Nantucket's pretty nice. The whole time we've been here so far, it's been flowers in every direction, coastal breezes no matter which way the wind's blowing, and the smell of fresh air all around. The other problem we were having is Ai-chan didn't want to walk anywhere because everything smelled just too darn good. So we had to stop every 10 to 15 seconds for a new smell. Understandable in a place like this, I guess. I always ask myself, what is Ai-chan thinking when I put her in the backpack? Is she like, oh cool man, I'm going on a ride, or no bro, I can do this on my own? It'd always be nice if we could actually see in the minds of the dog, know what they're thinking. I mean, I've got it down a little bit. She's a pretty good communicator. It's all about the body language. But she still leaves me guessing half the time. Once we finished up on the trails at Eel Pond, we started to make our way back to the ferry area near Nantucket. One thing that really stood out was that all the houses were designed in a very similar manner. Everything had a very classic feel, including the cobblestone streets that we hobbled down. There were a lot of interesting things to see in every direction, clear indicators of a rich history in Nantucket. The other thing that really caught our attention was that there were flowers everywhere. It seemed to me like every home or business had flowers lining the walkways and roads. There were so many interesting varieties, and it looked like they had all been well tended to. This actually made it quite difficult to get anywhere in a hurry because Ai-chan didn't want to walk too quickly. She was really enjoying all of the smells coming out from the flowers all around us. The Hadwin House garden was open to the public and had the best flowers of all. In fact, the caretaker was even on site when I walked in to look at the grounds. We finished off our tour of Nantucket with a trip to the Old Stone Path. This thin cobblestone pathway is pictured in postcards dating back over 100 years ago. It was a slow, uneven walk up as we had to watch our steps. But Ai-chan seemed to enjoy the unique trail almost as much as I did. After that, it was time to say goodbye to Nantucket. We boarded the ferry and then started back into the lighthouse hunt all over again. We spotted the Lewis Bay Hyannis Harbor light right from the ferry as we were docking into the port. Then we circled just around the block to come check out the Hyannis rear range light. From there, we started covering ground along the Cape Cod coast. We made it to the Chatham Lighthouse at the Coast Guard station in fantastic time. The fog was starting to roll in as the day progressed, and by the time we made it to the Nauset Lighthouse, it was thick in the air all around us. That didn't stop us from bringing this day to a close with a visit to the Three Sisters Lighthouses. These lighthouses were in operation as a set before they began to move to single lighthouse designs. Now they sit as a historical remnant of days gone by. You know me though, I'm happy to see a lighthouse, even if it's in the tiny form like these little girls were. Well, travelers, that brings an end to day 10 of our adventure through Massachusetts. And what a day it's been. We started off our day with a ferry ride to Nantucket. Even though it was foggy, it still made for a fantastic view over the water. Once we got to the island, it was a whole different experience. Unlike yesterday at Martha's Vineyard, where it was very touristy and crowdy, Nantucket, right off the ferry, was very crowded, very touristy, lots of shops. But as soon as you got out of that ferry area, it was like you were in your own little world. Right off the boat, we got on the bus and made our way all the way to the west side of the island for Nantucket Beach. From there, we did the hiking trails and had a fantastic time of it. By the time we got back to the bus, Ai-chan was exhausted, so we took it really easy until the ferry ride back. We arrived back with a few hours to spare, so we started working our way up north along the Cape Cod coast. Even though it's raining out and pouring down on us half the time, I couldn't be happier with the way the day has gone. Even though it's been raining most of the time since we started exploring Cape Cod, I couldn't be happier with the way this day has gone. We also managed to complete the Massachusetts Lighthouse Virtual Challenge. Counting the Three Sisters behind me, we've found at least 20 lighthouses so far. That doesn't mean we're done exploring lighthouses though. No, no, no. I did this virtual challenge because I wanted to see the lighthouses, not the other way around. So you can expect us to continue searching out more lighthouses over the next couple of days as we make our way back toward Boston. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned for daily updates as Ai-chan and I continue to make our way around the state. Looking forward to having you out there on the trails with us.